Matic McGee over there.
You have no idea, dude. We are sponsored by Degenerates and the willpower to do it right. What's happening, people? You're tuning into Comedy by Coincidence. This is episode 108. Special guest episode. We'll announce that here in a bit. Smoke them if you got 'em. What's happening, everybody? We're live on this mic, and it's your boy, Chris Davis, coming to you live from Davis Studios. And with me, I got our special guest today, Doug Brandmill from the St. Louis local band Luminal.
What is going on, y'all?
Thank you for being here. And I am joined,
me.
as always, by my favorite comedian,
Ty Young, what's up, motherfucker?
What's happening, brother? It's so good to see you. You having a good day over there?
The best a Floridian can. I fucking woke up at like noon and then contemplated my existence for a whole thermos of coffee that I'm still working on, and debating whether or not I switch to margaritas here in an hour.
I mean, you gotta hit him with a little hair of the dog. You know what I'm saying? Were you out last night?
Last night, no, I was not out last night. I had too much stuff to do. I had a full day yesterday.
Oh, sorry to hear it. I mean, look at you getting stuff done, though. Productive member of society, something like that?
More selfish desires not to owe the government money.
Love that for you.
Right on, dude.
So, we are joined by special guest Doug Brandmill.
How goes it, y'all?
It's pretty good.
Hello.
Thank you, guys, for being here.
For sure.
All right. I said this real quick. He's the lead singer of local St. Louis legends, Luminal.
St. Louis Legends, thank you.
Yeah, dude. Well, I mean, you play at the Blueberry Hill, you're going to be a St. Louis legend, bro. That's how that happens.
I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it.
And not only a extraordinary musician, extraordinary vocalist, comedy fan, dude. And that's why we got him on the Waddy today. And wanted to introduce you guys. Now,
Excellent.
I do got to say, this isn't our first meeting, is it,
It's
everybody?
not our first meeting.
The
Last time we met under different circumstances.
The first one shall be lost. Let's put it that way.
Lost physically, but forever in our hearts. Forever ingrained in our heads.
Yes.
Yeah. We'll keep that. We'll keep that with us.
Sorry, I was taking care of production needs there for a second. We also are joined by Dr. Evil. I do want to say that we got to always shout out our
Doc
producer
over in the
who
corner.
dots our I's, crosses the T's,
You
makes
taking
us
no
look good.
census? You counting my know what I'm saying?
What up, Doc?
What up, Doc? And she is off mic today. If you do need a mic, Dr. Evil, do holler at me or just steal mine. Punch me out. Jack my mic. Whatever you need to
Where's
do.
Mr. Bigglesworth at? That's my question.
Napping.
Oh.
the kitty terrorist is not around at the moment, thank God, or this might be a completely different show. So
does that make you Scott?
no, makes me Chris Davis. And my, again, kitty terrorist Oscar, he owns the house. God. So that's what it is. So we did try to do a guest episode a week ago, and that guest episode is gone to the ages, everybody. I'm going to blame myself.
Oh.
I'm going to blame...
I'm blaming myself, too.
I'm blaming myself and everybody, our loyal fans. That is why we did not have an episode on time for a week there. So that is my bad. That's always Chris's bad when the episode doesn't come out.
This is
no, really.
This is Doug's bad somewhat too.
What is 100? Anyways, Ty, do you have any remarks to be made about the last episode?
Failing across the board is my specialty, so it's a shared deal, man. You can't just take sole blame.
Right.
But if you want to, you piece of shit, like how come on, man, like
yeah,
dude,
you shouldn't have let that happen,
bro.
bro.
Leaving it alone? Come on.
I know, 100%, dude.
How could you let that happen?
It was all Chris's fault. So, apologies to the fans. I wanted to make that remark early in the episode, but I do want to try to recoup some of what we lost today. Have Doug back on and do it right. So, Doug and Ty, man, I really want to introduce you guys because you guys are fucking love comedy almost equally. Except my friend Ty here, man, is my favorite comedian of all time, and he's got the work ethic to go hit the open mics and do the damn thing. So I wanted to see if you had any questions for a working, active open mic comedian.
Well, yeah, man. I mean, really, just like sorry, that was a little bit like
no, you're good.
Jump start there, but
pull the mic just a little bit closer to your mouth.
Okay.
Yeah.
Here, good. Here,
yeah,
like this.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, man. I really just like I got started with my my dad turning me on to like Delirious and Raw when I was like 8 or 9. So probably not the greatest age to be exposed to that kind of stuff, but better. There's no better. There's at some point,
Yeah.
And I like so like then as I got a little bit older, it got
I kind of phased out and went into my own world there.
No, hey, it's good,
Sorry.
dude. Sometimes we just leave and then we got to just come back and be like, yo, yeah, that's all good, man.
What was that question again? I'm sorry.
I was just saying like, yeah, man. I've always loved stand up. I've always like been into it, right? It's always been something I've always like really, really liked, and I've always just liked the whole like subjectivity of it. Everyone's like trying to be like, who's better than who's tops who, and it's like no one really is better or tops anyone. I mean, there's people that you may like better. But I've met people that like Bill Hicks is my favorite stand up comedian of all time. I've met people that hate Bill Hicks. And it's not because they hate him like as a person. It's just like it just doesn't work for them. It's like that's what I think is so cool. One of the things I think is so cool about stand up is it's like, it's all about what works for you. It's what you can relate to and what you like. There's no real sort of like with music and film. It's like
it's stand up is a little bit more personalized than music.
Yeah,
dare venture.
No, yeah, I was gonna say like with music and film, like there's like people think of like best produced records of all time. I don't know, White Album, Led Zeppelin 4, people think stuff like that, and then like I guess with like film, it's like you have your Godfathers and your Deer Hunters and all that, But with stand up, it's like there's not really I mean, there are greats, right? But it's just so much more. It's not. There's not really like that whole thing.
Well, see, it's like stand-up is subjective to everything, to time, to place, to who's in the room, to what just happened. Whereas music and other art forms are supposed to be like a message about the time that can extend through the ages, whereas stand-up can't. I don't know if you guys have gone back and listened to an older stand-up,
Yeah.
like
Richard Pryor, even, or something.
Richard Pryor, or before that,
some
God,
Red
what's his name?
Fox,
Lenny Bruce.
Yeah,
Lenny Bruce, yeah.
Bruce, you know, if you go back and listen to them, you're not going to find them as funny because the cadence and rhythm is for that time. The delivery and what is said is for that time. You know, so you can go back and learn a lot, but you're not necessarily going to laugh at somebody's dick joke from the 20s.
Yeah, well, you know, like, that's interesting you bring up Richard Pryor. I mean, like, Mitzi Shore, you know, sorry, I didn't mean to bump the mic there. Mitzi Shore, like, loved Richard Pryor, you know, and he would
It's-
get his, he would build his sets at the Comedy Store, right? Like he would start off, like, he would just, like, bring all his new jokes, you know, for a set, just like everything would be new, you know, and maybe one or two would hit, but he would just bomb for the rest of the set. But that was on purpose because he would take the jokes that worked and then get rid of all the ones that didn't work, and then, you know, try and add those to more and see what works. And eventually, after like weeks, he would have a great set. But you had to sit. I mean, it's Richard Pryor, so like it's not like had to sit there. I mean, either way, being in the same room as Richard Pryor and watching him work is going to be entertaining in some way. But you sort of had to sit through like a bunch of sets where he bombed in order to get to that point where it's like 45 minutes of greatness. But it's because he was crafting that set through doing sets, you know?
I've found the process of stand-up to be unique in the sense that it doesn't matter where you are. It doesn't matter where you are. You still got to drive back into that dumpster of shit.
Yeah.
And find, you know, some little kernel, some little something that you can take out of there and make something with it.
Yeah.
You know? Whereas pain is built into the process, which is different than other things in this life, you know?
Yeah. So when you go up and you do stand up, are your sets and are you a bit more calculated with your set, or do you go up and you have like talking points, you have ideas, and then you just sort of riff on, like, are you comfortable with like your riffage ability, or for lack of a better term, or do you go up with a bit more calculated set?
like right now.
It depends kind of where I'm at. If it's a show that it's like, okay, I can make something happen here, I could possibly become a regular at this club, it's usually a little bit more calculated.
Okay.
But, you know, if I'm at a kava bar,
Yeah.
I purposely go up there with the idea of, you know, messing with the two people that are up there, getting them to give me ideas, make it a little bit more of an intimate show. Because, A, there's 2-3 people in the audience. So you got to bring them in. Otherwise, you're just, you know, you might as well just be a TV screen.
Right.
Yeah.
And then, so you got to drag them in with you. And I'll play around a little bit. But also, like, if the crowd's a fun crowd, you know, where they're hot, they're laughing at people, I'll sometimes drag them in just a little bit, just to kind of feel out how we can go.
Yeah.
Because if you got a dead crowd and you can attempt to pull them in by doing off the cuff riffing and all that, but 9 times out of 10, that shit don't work.
Yeah.
They're already checked out, you know.
They're already checked out. They want to look at their phone so fucking bad. Like, you know, if looking at your phone was a bump of cocaine, they are, you know, going
Addicts.
4 or 5 hours
Yeah.
without one.
Yeah, man. That's interesting. You say that. I always, even like, so most of our shows we play, we've headlined, and it's just because it's not because we're like big shots or anything. It's just because we set it up, you know.
Yeah.
So we just,
Yeah.
and I always think like, I'm like, well, we're going on last, right? You know. So
We set this thing up, and normally they have the guys who headline go last because they're holding the most people there.
Yeah.
I've done the
Yeah.
same thing with Forgiving Tree, where just because we set it up, we thought, okay, well, we should be the headliners then, right?
Right. Exactly.
There's kind of like there's a place and a time for his calculated set or for the riffage.
Yeah.
There's a place and a time for us to be headliners, and if you're not bringing 60-plus people, it might not be time for that. There, prime example, no, and love Luminal. You guys are fucking heavy hitters, and I love the fuck out of you. I'm talking Forgiving Tree for a second. There's a time where we set up a show with 3 bands, and we were the headliners, but it was purposely started late so that we could hopefully get more people off of work on a Friday. Okay?
Yeah.
Dude, if I could say, we went on at started our set at 10 for 4 people. And
Ooh.
actually, no, I want to say 9 people, but we had planned 2 sets. So, we took our intermission to get ready for the second set and go, have a smoke break, whatever. Come back, and that's when there were 4 people, and 2 of them were my parents and 1 my sister. And it was like, okay, we need to leave. We're going to wrap it a little early. It's the only time we've ever wrapped a set early because the audience wanted to leave.
But look at y'all now, man. But look at y'all now, man. I mean, you guys just played a show for. I mean, I'm sure.
The Ball and Snow.
Great.
We
90 people
didn't get an episode in last week. The Ball and Snow Cone show went great, and Porch Fest went great, and everybody who came out to support us. And if you were there, thank you guys so much because again, we had probably 90 people at the Ball and Snow Cone show at one point, and there were people in and out, and it was a good time. We made some money. It was good. So thank you all.
Nice.
We love you. Keep coming out because that's when we have a party, man, and we couldn't party without you. So thank you guys.
and go support Forgiving
while
Tree.
we're on the subject of
They're
shows,
awesome.
real quick, everybody plug your shit.
Yeah, go ahead. Plug Luminal. Where can we find Luminal, and where's the best place that they can find your events and listen to your music and stuff?
Well, okay, so Instagram is Luminal Band STL, Luminal Band STL. We're following Forgiving Tree and Comedy by Coincidence, so if you just go and followers there and search up Luminal, you'll find us.
Yep, and then again, real quick, that's Luminal. INAL.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And then we're playing October 8th. We're playing the Arctica Festival in Tower Grove Park,
Hell yeah.
which will be a lot of fun. And then November 11th, we are setting something up. We have a lineup, and we are shopping around right now. So that will be posted about more and talked about on our pages once we've got that sort of more fleshed out. But we are planning on doing something on November 11th at the moment.
November 11th. Okay.
Well, we just kind of, so we've got 5 people in our
I
group.
know how it goes.
Yeah, you know,
for
it's
sure.
like
we got a
random-
date secured.
random
Now we're trying
days,
to
you
find
know.
the venue, but yeah, it's
Like my mom's like, why December 14th? And I'm like, well, you know, that's kind of just how it works out. You know, everyone's like, you hit. I mean, the way it kind of works with us is it's like venues like it a bit more if you have everything ready to
lined
go.
up and
You know what
ready
I
to
mean?
go from the get-go.
Because then, like Duck Room especially. like,
Nick and
they
I
love
actually
that.
talked to Nick yesterday about that too. Nick is a fucking smart guy.
Yeah, he is.
And you got, first of all, everybody in Luminal is a gem, a wonderful musician, and you guys just got a great chemistry and group of heads together for this one. So that's why I say you guys are going to be St. Louis legends because
Thanks,
not
man.
everybody in there's a legend in their own right. But
Thanks,
I got to
man.
say, Nick, they're one of 2 awesome guitarists there.
Co-founder.
Co-founder, businessman, and has one
Awesome
of the best
dude.
attack
Very
plans
smart.
of a St. Louis local band. He gets all the details worked out and then approaches the venue.
Yeah.
Says we have these bands, we can bring this many people, and we want to do it this night, and we know you're free because we've looked at your calendars. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's good. He's good at that kind of stuff.
I mean, it's when you come to somebody with a full platter and they don't have to do anything
Exactly.
except what they normally do. They don't, it's you just gave them an easy $50.
Right.
You know what I mean? Who's going to say no to an easy $50?
Right. Oh, and by the way, we have all the promotional material, a poster, and we're posting it around town ourselves. So
Right.
they're like, oh, we don't have to do shit? Great. So
Exactly.
Tremendous. That's Luminal Band St. Louis.
Luminal Band STL, yeah.
STL on
And we're
Instagram.
Facebook. Nick made a
Now,
Facebook for
real
us.
quick for listeners who have never heard of Luminal before, could you describe the music and the vibe for the band that you're going for?
Yeah, man. It's like, well, so it's interesting, right? We all like similar music. We all like different music too. So we all have different like varied influences. Like I really dove into like some bands like there's bands like the Brian Jonestown Massacre and the Black Angels and the Warlocks.
Okay.
You know, like those are the bands that and like My Bloody Valentine. Those are the bands that kind of really got me started. I mean, I've been doing music. I've been taking, you know, I mean, I can play bass, keys. I mean, I'm not the greatest bass player. I wouldn't, but I used to stand in quite a bit. And then I've taken keys lessons. I've taken vocal lessons, which doesn't make me better than anyone else. But like, I really started getting more into my own in 2020 when I found these like, it's like this like whole psychedelic rock revival movement that had started in like the early 90s, you know? And I was like, these guys have been doing this for so long, but it's just niche enough that it's just right below the surface, you know? And I'm like, but it's so cool. And like this year I went to Austin, the Austin Psych Fest, and saw a lot of these bands, you know? And a lot of these a lot of like, there's a lot of like small niche bands that I listen to that have been around for like 40 years, but I wouldn't really bring up in a conversation. I mean, I want people to check them out, but no one really knows what I'm talking about sometimes, you know?
I feel the same way.
But
sometimes.
it was cool to be in a place with 1,000 to 2,000 people outdoors, by the way, you know, COVID safe, 1,000 to 2,000 people, and everyone knew what I was talking about. Like I saw, for example, there's this band called The Clean that I really like that have been around since that have been around since the mid 80s, and unfortunately the front man passed last year, but I've listened to them for years, you know, but I've never really brought them up in conversation because it's like, you know, not a bad thing, but who really cares, you know? It's like I care, and I know people do, but like most people, but then there's a guy wearing a t-shirt, and I'm like, dude, that's so cool. I've never like really like
seen another fan.
Seen another fan. And it's like I was like talking about my favorite songs by them with him, and I'm like, wow, I've never talked about this band with anybody before, which is crazy because, I mean, Chris and Kelly know, and I'm sure you do too with stand up, and even probably with like music and movies too. You know, we could just sit here. I'm sorry,
talk all day.
We could just sit here and talk all day.
No, you're good.
About music and
favorites,
everything we love.
Stuff,
you know. But sometimes we like stuff that's a bit more niche, and sometimes it's like, you know, people are like, yeah, it sounds really cool. Who are they again? You know? But yeah, anyway, I kind of went off on a little tangent there.
That's good, dude.
Luminal, really, we sort of label ourselves as like psychedelic shoegaze, which sounds like super complicated, but really it's it's psychedelic music, but it's very intricate and layered and very timing oriented, you know. And but also sort of like post-punk, new wave, like
there's a certain attitude about shoegaze that like I think is where it got its name from. And if we think about the name shoegaze, it's very descriptive of people who play it. Okay, or the bands that describe themselves because they're kind of introverted.
Right.
They while like a rock band like me is very outgoing and energetic and has to connect with the crowd, that's not necessarily their goal. They want the crowd to hear their music, enjoy it, but they're afraid to even look at them. So they're looking at their shoes the whole set. Does that kind of make sense?
Yeah.
But what we try, and I find myself falling into that, especially back when I've been performing, since probably since 2018. I've just been like, I started standing in at bars playing bass just as good as I could for bands and getting kicked out after the sets because I was underage, you know. But I was still able to play, you know. But I remember like once like in Luminal, like I found like it was sort of a new thing because like standing in for bass, I would just stand in for friends' bands. You know, it's like,
Right.
oh,
You need a bassist for this gig.
Johnny
out of
needs
town?
someone this weekend,
Yeah.
and Fred's gonna need someone in 2 weeks. You know, because the whole way the whole people don't. I don't like talk about it too often because it's sort of in the back of my mind. But the whole reason I even got into playing live gigs in the first place is because when I was 16, I first got my license. I went to this burger joint called Max Local Eats on Cherokee and Lemp. That's not there anymore. Or it is there. I don't know. It's weird. But anyway, like hybrid COVID stuff, you know. But there's this dude named Drew Schaefer it's funny because he's actually playing after us and at the Arctica Festival, so everything's gonna come in full circle. But he's like, hey man, you know, we don't always have a bass player, man, you know. And I'm like, oh cool. What kind of places do you play at? He's like 21 plus bars, you know. And he's not gonna care if I talk about this, but don't worry, man. You know, they won't kick you out if you're in the band. You know, everyone, you know, they don't want to rile up the whole band. So I would go, and I would start, and I'd stand in for bass at like these bars, and I'm not gonna say where because I don't want to, you know, get anyone in trouble, but there'd be the bouncer would walk up right before we'd start, and he'd go, hey motherfucker, look, I know how old you are. When this set's over, he did this move every time. He goes, when this set's over, you're out.
Get outta here.
You know what I mean? I probably heard that 300 times, at least. You know, because all I really wanted to do is just, you know, all I really wanted to do is just play in front of an audience. You know, that's all. That's what I really like. That's what I really liked. You know, that's all I ever really wanted to do. You know, I just got sick of, you know, whether it was vocals, keys, or bass, just in my room, just for nobody. I mean, it's fun, right? But like, I was like, man, you know, it'd be so much fun. So it got to the point where, like, second I got my driver's license, I remember just, you know, it's been a little while now, but I remember just going out and, you know, trying to find any place possible I could play. You know, talking to everybody I could. And for a while, most people were like, dude, you're 16 years old. No one's going to want you anywhere. There's a couple people, though, that sort of let me in. And if it weren't for them, I mean, I don't want to be like, if it weren't for them, I wouldn't be here today, you know, because that's kind of like, oh, okay, whatever. You know, there's a pretty good chance I'd still be here.
Yeah.
But if it weren't for them, I don't know if I would have gone down the path I went down and, you know, built up the sort of character that I have. Not that,
To
you know,
network enough and meet
Yeah,
so many
just-
amazing musicians to be able to start such a blessed project, right?
Right.
So, just to get us a little bit back on track here. So,
sorry.
no, you're good.
Go off
We,
on tangents.
we wanted you to plug Luminal. And I'm glad we got a mini oral history there too as well.
Facebook is Luminal-STL.
What? Okay. Facebook is Luminal-STL.
Nick made that, and we didn't have a Facebook, and then
You guys have a YouTube too?
we do. It's kind of like Doug infused with Luminal channel because I
understand. But
because
what's the
I,
channel name?
um,
That they can
got to
Let's
change
see.
it to something better. But right now it's just D Brandmill. But if you go on there, it's the channel is a space to upload anything related to my band Luminal, as well as just I upload little, you know, if I go out with friends and I happen to have my camera on me and I don't want to forget the night, you know, because it's a
Turn
great
into Bert
night.
Kreischer and you-
I'll make a little mini documentary
Hell yeah,
and I'll
dude.
upload it, you know, because I just don't want to forget it, you know. It's
Guys, you got to go subscribe to D Brandmill
you got
because
us
you're going to
42 subscribers and counting, man. We're on the come up.
get Doug at his
I had the
best
account for 8 years, 42 subscribers.
and all of the awesome Luminal music. So that's pretty awesome, dude.
Thanks, man. Sorry, I go on
No, you're good.
tangents
And
sometimes.
we would say again that Luminal, a good descriptor. If I had to put it in one sentence, Luminal is a alternative, psychedelic, shoegaze rock band in St. Louis, and they fucking rock.
And we love to have fun.
Yeah, and they love to have fun. That's a
And
good one.
a lot of the people here shoegaze, and they, you know, I hope people don't come to our shows and think that we're just gonna, you know, act like there's nobody else in the crowd, you know, because I know that with shoegaze that's kind of the whole stigma, you know, and I get it.
Some stage
but
presence.
we do try to, you know, incorporate everybody,
I
and we
mean-
try and sort of, you know,
Based on how you guys describe the band, Shoegaze fits perfectly for the look and the vibe that you're going for. It's kind of like when a bassist gets bass face. You know
yeah.
what I mean? When they're just hitting that chord right.
Right, but you can like also obviously tell everybody up there is having a really great time. So it's not just like stationary. I mean, there is a
Yeah.
relaxed feel to it, but everybody out there is absolutely having a great time while they're playing.
Well, speaking of bassists, and I just wanted to say this because she recently, yesterday actually, got
Got her
is a
citizenship
citizenship.
and-
Alice Schmitt
Yeah, she's a Schmitt now. Too.
is awesome,
That's
Nice.
and
a good runner-up for Savage of the Week for sure.
yes, and she is incredible. One of my favorite people. Everyone knows Alice. You know, it's like in some way you've come across Alice because she's just involved in so much, and she's done so much, and she's just like a powerhouse of a creative and of an artist. And I love Alice. But yeah, I mean, she's got a pretty awesome bass face. She gets into it, and it's just like, yeah, you know, we like to
Mad
mess
love,
around,
mad
run
respect.
around, sort of like do some moves on stage. You know, it's fun. Everyone's awesome though. You know, everyone does it. Everyone gets into it. We all love it, and especially, you know, we've moved from like, I mean, we're not like selling places out all the time, but we have moved from like 20 to 30 people, you know, guaranteed to like 70 to 80 people guaranteed, you know. So it's cool.
Good.
And
Yeah, man.
and that's just the people that we know are gonna be there. You know, we always get new people too. You know, and it's always fun to look out and see new faces. Man, I'll tell you what, we played a show, at a place called Off Broadway, out here, and it was really really cool because there's this band called 9 Volt that we played with a bunch of times because they're like I don't
They're
know.
another shoegaze band.
Yeah,
too.
and
their sound mixes well with theirs. I
Yeah.
like 9 Volt a lot too.
and they're really talented and they're really awesome, but they're also like 16, 17, 18-year-old kids, and
so
it's
they're
cool.
dealing with the same thing you had to deal with the playing in the
Right.
clubs underage.
And I've always felt like you know, in St. Louis, I mean everywhere, but in St. Louis especially, from what I've noticed, there's a lot of really really talented musicians out here who are like 15, 16, 17-year-old kids, and they're really really good, like better than some of them better than I ever was, or even probably could be, you know. Just they're excellent. And it was so cool because 9 Volt, they brought out like 120 extra kids to the show who were super into us too, you know. So it's one of my favorite crowd ever because there was like 16, 17-year-old kids with the X's on their hands crowd surfing, and I'm like, yes, these kids deserve to have this awesome time, you know. It's like, this is what I always wanted, you know. And it's like just being able to look out and see these kids, like they freaking, dude, they're entitled to it, man, just as much as we are, just as like
Now,
they're
really,
awesome.
That's really interesting that they're having to struggle to play, because in comedy clubs all the time, if there's like an underage kid, they go up, you know, maybe first, second in, and then they have to leave afterwards. But like they're always given the shot, you know.
Yeah,
you
if
show
they
up
come
with.
up, that's cool. I haven't heard of that, so that's nice.
I mean,
to hear.
it's at the Improv or like the chains, they might be a little bit more prissy about
Yeah.
it. But like any of the small clubs
One-offs.
I've been to, if you're like 16 years old and you walk up and it's like, if you're just
Got
straight
the
up honest
balls
about
to
it,
say it, yeah. Like,
hey, I'm 16, I want to perform. Can I go up at the front so that way I can get out of here and you guys can not get in trouble or anything? And I mean, honestly, comedy clubs don't respect rules anyway. So fuck you. We're gonna let you do it.
right.
Yeah.
You know, we'll just put an X on your hand. Won't serve you any booze or anything, and we'll make sure you're not there all fucking night.
That's
And
what-
I gotta say this, guys. I was young and trying to hit open mics as a musician too.
Don't wash X's off your hands.
And like, yeah, here's the thing. If you're gonna do that, don't let age stop you. Don't let age be the thing that's holding you back. But if you're gonna go out there as a 14 to 18-year-old to go do music, to go pursue live comedy, to do music in a public setting, do me a couple things. One, be safe. There are creeps out there, and there's plenty of bar owners and club owners that abuse the system.
Facts.
And might, whatever. Anyway, second, so be safe out there. Don't take drinks from strangers. Bring your own drinks. Watch them like hawks. All that shit. Number 2, don't wash the X's off your hand or find ways to drink your own
Don't do it,
alcohol
man.
and get drunk at these clubs. It's not your time to get drunk yet. Work on the craft you're trying to do. Focus on that. Have fun. Smoke a number. You know what I mean? And do the thing.
Well, it's you don't, if you're underage, you don't drink at the club because you're risking the existence of the club.
Of that club.
Exactly.
They're doing you the solid.
Exactly.
Do them a solid to help them keep their liquor license and their livelihood, and to help you come back again. If they catch you
Exactly.
drunk, your name's going to get blackballed, not just there, but every fucking club. So
Right.
do that, and every other 16, 17-year-old who might want to do the same opportunity a favor, and don't do that. all
Right, and I'm not going to name any names here, of course, but my favorite club in the whole city, which if you know me, you might know what it is. I love playing there. We played there a bunch of times. We plan on playing there a bunch more times, but I'm good friends with the sound guy there. He's, I consider him a brother, a homie. He's a really good guy, and he was telling me about how there's this local band, and they're making waves, and they're doing really, really well right now, right? But they were trying to wash the X's off their hands in the bathroom, and he was like, "Hey, you guys can't do that." And they didn't quite understand why. And it's like, this place is great because there's a patio, you can eat, you can get drinks, and then you can watch music, and then there's a lounge area and stuff too, and it's awesome. And it's in the Grove, which is one of the best parts of the whole city. But it's just like thinking about, just like in my mind, like the possibility of this place not existing,
Yeah.
makes
Makes
me
you
upset.
angry, yeah.
It makes me angry. It makes me upset.
So don't do
you
that,
know?
guys. Don't.
Just follow the rules
around.
because eventually you're gonna
Fuck it up for somebody else, not just you.
and eventually you
The
won't have
quote-
to worry about that anymore.
To
Just
quote the great Joey Diaz, "Get your shit together, bitch."
Yeah.
exactly.
Same for us. Hey, you have any other questions for Ty?
I guess I just like talking about like who are your influences, man. Where was your start? Like what's like the catalyst? Like for me with music, I remember the first time was hearing "I Don't Know" by Ozzy Osbourne on the radio on KC and being like, someone can have a voice like this but still kill it and still do great. That for me was a catalyst. So like for you, like what are some of those milestone moments like that brought you where you are now? If you feel so
five
inclined to
questions
answer.
at once. Hold on. Take it. You
Okay.
go for it, brother.
My first exposure to comedy really was the same as many white kids in rural America. It's Jeff Foxworthy, Larry the Cable Guy, the Blue Collar Comedy Tour.
Yeah,
Ron White. Ron White's fucking amazing.
Ron White is
man.
awesome, underrated.
And then from there, it's just like I've never told any. I don't think I even told Chris this, but like it's always just been this present thought in the back of my mind where if I felt like if I vocalized it, it would just float away and disappear. So I just kind of left it locked in my head for a while. And when I was working at Pizza Hut and Walmart, some days I'd just go on a tear and people would be like, "That's fucking hilarious, man. You should do stand up." And I was just like, "Oh, thanks, man. I've been thinking about it." And then I just leave it at that. And then the pandemic happened, and I was sitting on my parents' boat, mentally dying, physically getting healthier, actually. And there was an article in the hippie newspaper called The Stranger that was like, "There's doing stand-up comedy at this dry cleaner drive-through. If you guys are bored at night." So I just walked up to this little alleyway, and there was just like a couple of guys hanging out, talking into a microphone, saying shit, and I went on a whole dick sermon as my first set. I don't think I recorded that one.
Sometimes you
And then
gotta
I
have
just
the
started
moment.
showing up every week, just fucking around.
Cool, man.
There was another. You asked. There was another question in there. I'm forgetting. I
Well,
think I
really,
covered
just
the
like,
rest.
I mean, yeah, I kind of worded it in like a really jumbled, messy way, but really, my question was just like those milestone moments. Those are the moments that drive you closer and closer towards doing what you're doing now.
Milestone moments.
Like the first time you saw this, the first time you heard this, or the first time you were something encouraged you to, like what you just said, to go get off your ass and go. Just that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and it's I don't know, like I've had a couple milestone moments at the start of this comedy thing. Crushing at McCurdy's for the first time. That was
Yeah.
great.
Awesome.
And then there's been a couple like, and I wish I filmed them, but like audience interactions that have been great. But really, I have a weird. I entered this with a weird set of goals. It's like I want to make somebody pee their pants during a comedy set. Like I
Yeah.
want that
Yeah.
so fucking bad. Some comedians have made people faint. I want public humiliation. And then it's I just want to do clubs, like
So bad.
theaters. The idea of theaters, it sounds cool and all that, but it's not. I can't
not
even
intimate.
fathom. I'm on a headlining tour where I'm not going to a comedy club. Like I can't fathom that.
It's not the intimacy isn't. I mean, I obviously I haven't done stand up, but it feels like to me like the intimacy that you get in the club, you're not really going to get in the theater per se.
Oh no! Oh no!
So
Oh,
it's
no,
another
no, no, no.
animal altogether. And
Yeah,
I
it's-
imagine arenas would be another animal
Right.
past that, That's anyways, if you're a crowd work guy, I met good luck in an arena. Watching Big J try to do some crowd work on the Bert Kreischer tour was kind of incredible, and he just attacked it like normal, and I was like, how are you doing this? But anyways, I digress.
My little sister went and saw Rob Schneider and I don't know if you guys were there. Rob Schneider and Adam Sandler at I don't even know what it's called now. Changes like every year. Enterprise Center. Is it still
Yeah.
Enterprise Center?
I think it is.
And she said that it's just like Rob Schneider doing his thing. Like she said that Rob Schneider is good, but he's not really meant to be like a arena guy, per
Right.
se.
It's the first arena comic, Andrew Dice Clay. Well, no, he wasn't the first, but he was the best at it at the time because he was doing and saying shocking things. Now I would say comedy in this era right now, to be the arena guy, you have to be a larger than life cat like Bert Kreischer.
Yeah.
You can't play it safe. You got to go wild. Big movements, everything. You got to fill the entire arena with energy.
I'm gonna go make a movie with Mark Hamill, That's how you really get it done.
And then, oh God, there was, whatever. Just had a thought float away like an albatross.
That's okay. You want me to put a thought in there? I got one for
Yeah.
you. You have any questions for a lead vocalist in a band?
Or just someone. I mean, you probably deal with bookers
Just a
the same that I do, like all the same. We probably have similar we probably have a lot of similar experiences. I feel like with like bookers and getting stuff set up and talk, back and forth. We probably share a lot of those like painful experiences. We probably both have some some of the same ones, which I've said like
Yeah.
4 times.
I bet you
just
both
now,
shit your pants occasionally. What's going on, Ty? What's happening?
Well, I mean, I've been screwed by a booker before, where you said you were giving me a set, and then I drive an hour out of the way, and I don't get a set, and it fucking sucks.
Yeah, man. Damn, that blows, dude. I can't even imagine an hour.
I always make it a point to look at the booker or whoever's in charge and be like, look, dude, this really sucks for me. You're going to need me, give me 2 sets, in the future. Like I need, I drove all the way out here for nothing tonight. I need guaranteed I get a set the next time I come out and the time after that.
Yeah. So you advocate them. That's what you got to do.
Advocate for yourself, and nobody's going to do it for you. You got to become your biggest advocate.
Yeah,
right. So
you gotta look out for yourself. It seems like you got that down. Or it seems like you have an idea.
I'm one of those. I've thought of this recently. I'm one of those people where it's like, if you give me total control, like 100% control, things will work out probably fine.
Yeah,
but we're gonna do it my way. You know what I mean? Like there is no if buts about it. We're gonna do it my way, and we're gonna get it done right. But the second I see somebody above me take control, I turn into a bitch real quick.
Yeah.
Like I just oh, you got this? Okay, you have total responsibility. I'm gonna sit back here in the cut and wait for something to do.
That's how it's been before with actually with Nick a couple times, because like Nick is a very, very talented musician. He's an amazing artist, but he's also a very good businessman, better than me. And sometimes I've come to him and been like, dude, I'm thinking of sending this email out or sending this DM out. And he's like, no, just let me handle it. And he always does. Exactly. And we always get the gig, or we always find it, because he just, he's just like, I'm like, okay, dude, and at this point, like I suggest stuff to him, but I mean, at this point, I just need to let him sort of like handle the business stuff, because he's real. That's one thing he's real good with. He's good with a lot of things, but that's one thing he's real good with,
Yeah, I mean, I always think that's like what forming an entourage or a crew is. Like a band is your own self-formed crew. Everybody falls into your own.
Like, and everybody gets their own jobs too. Yeah,
exactly. If you like the business stuff, you do the business stuff. If you like the social media stuff, you do that. If you're more in the creative things, you better be pumping out more songs than anybody else. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's you all find your role to make the machine work.
Yeah. Definitely.
One of my favorite parts of being in a band versus being a solo musician. For sure, there's more people to delegate tasks out to, and it doesn't all have to fall on one person, too. But I'm in the same boat. Alex, our drummer, is way more of a professional on the booking side of things and the label stuff. So there's a lot of things we delegate to him, and then there's a lot of booking stuff that comes to me. So we all do our thing, and Dr. Evil holds it all down on bass, right?
Doc holds it down.
Helps me with the tie-dyes and merch stuff. It's a good time.
Those tie-dyes are awesome. Freaking Roberts told me he's already worn it 4 times since he got it. So.
Fuck yeah, dude. That's what I'm saying. And you guys could too. But the only place to get a original Forgiving Tree tie-dye is a Forgiving Tree show, which is why you need to come see Forgiving Tree. Now, Luminal is playing the Arctica Festival October 8th. You guys need to go catch them. But afterwards, come catch Forgiving Tree at Sky Music Lounge. October 8th, Sky Music Lounge.
Really?
We're playing 7:30.
That's hilarious.
I think we're actually playing 8:30. So just come hang out. We're going to be partying from 7:30 on. We'll probably play a set.
And we play at 4, so you can go see us.
That's what I'm
get
saying.
Dinner and then go see Forgiving Tree,
With time for dinner in between. Come see both. Support,
maybe Smokey J.
At local St. Louis music. It's going to be great, dude. So, should we do some comedy news?
Yeah, dude, let's hit it.
All right. Dr. Evil, you had one from the last episode that we didn't get to air. I want to bring that back up, so I'm going to give you my mic. And I want to check in with the crew real quick. Does anybody need a break? Is everybody good?
I was gonna
I'm
maybe
good. Let's keep going.
have another hitsy.
Okay, keep going. You can have a hit ski. You're good. You could pee.
Could
Ty, we do. The production team is asking for a 2 to pee.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
you
go
could
for it.
be.
Okay.
It's like
the
you're not entirely
disappointment.
sure. You don't know what's gonna happen.
We don't. The disappointment. Everybody, take two. Take two. Take two. Everybody, hey, audience, smoke one if you got them. We'll be right back. It'll feel like nothing. And we're back. What's happening, everybody? It's Chris Davis here again, and we are again joined by Doug and Dr. Evil and Ty, and we're all here.
We're having a great
Everybody's
time.
peed. And it is a great time, man. Thank you again for coming on, bro.
Dude, of course, brother.
Fucking
It's been
blessing.
fun. And Ty, dude, it's been awesome. Like, you know, I'd love to, you know, chat with you again sometime. It's been awesome just, you know, because I like hearing it like from a stand-up comedian's point of view. Just I've never, like, I love stand-up, but I don't know what it's like at all to really be in it, you know. I mean, I listened to Joey Diaz talk about it, but that doesn't mean that I really am ever going to know what it's like, you know, just from hearing someone talk about it. So
Not until you go get on stage and start
Yeah,
working
exactly.
those 10,000 hours, you know.
yeah.
But I totally forgot before we get into comedy news. I want to hit Doug with one or two questions, a couple questions from us about being a lead singer specifically. And Ty, I want to make sure that you get the opportunity. You got any questions for lead singer?
Just one question right now. How do you take care of your own microphone, or do you let somebody else do? Is that like as since you are the instrument, how do you help out the others?
Well, it's so you mean like do I bring my like my own do you mean like do I bring my own stuff to shows, like my own mic to shows, or like
Yeah, or do you just show up like the typical lead singer and it's like the magic is here?
we've got our stuff. We have our equipment in our room that we like, that we prefer to use, of course, you know. We're not total mongrels.
No, you're
But
good,
a lot of
you're
times
good.
you show up somewhere and
They have their
they already
own
have their
PA
own like
system, and-
dynamic
yeah.
mics, and they're like, you guys just use these, you know. And like
Yeah.
obviously with, you know, like Jaden and Nick, they have very specific, and Jaden and Nick and Alice and Ian, they have very specific stuff that they bring that they have to have. But for me, it's like, yeah, like you said, I am like what I'm doing on stage. I am the instrument. So, the vehicle in which I sort of express doesn't always have to be the same. You know, it's kind of
Yeah.
interesting, and it's different
Okay.
because, like I said, I used to all the earlier gigs I used to stand in for bass. So I've kind of done both. You know, I've
Yeah.
brought my own stuff, but now I'm kind of like, you guys want me to bring it or bring my stuff, or do you have stuff, or what do you want to
nice.
do?
You're a lead singer that double checks in and sees if anybody needs
course.
any brand.
You got to maintain those
I
good
have
relationships.
witnessed this man carry drum stuff before, I believe. And
Well, you got to help
Okay,
out.
so-
You got to help the band out. You know what I'm saying?
You got to help out. You got to put some elbow grease
you're,
into
you're
it.
not the typical fucking just show up prima
No,
donna.
no.
No,
No,
he
no.
ain't. I'm trying to think of it. He ain't no Axl Rose. I'll say that for sure. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
And by the way-
they'd all get pissed at me if
Yo,
I did some
hey,
shit like that anyway.
Hey, Chris rant. Fuck Guns N' Roses. Specifically Axl Rose. I love Slash. He's always gonna
Duff
be
McKagan's
a
kinda
real
cool.
one. Yeah, you know what? You know what? Fuck their management or Axl, whoever made the decision to cancel their St. Louis show this time. I have a lot
F,
of people,
dude.
right? Because they postponed it for health reasons.
Health reasons? Come on, get over it.
And
You have
then,
COVID?
and
Come on.
then
Who cares?
apparently they could not come to a decision with Busch Stadium on a makeup date, so they flat out canceled it on Friday. And I was like,
Oh, what? Your wife's in labor? Come on.
I mean,
I paid
like,
$100
those
to
dudes
be
are
here.
80.
we paid for that kid's college tuition. Come on now. Anyways, no,
Yeah.
but rant
But that
off.
dude's
Sorry.
he's like 80.
Axel? Yeah, he's getting out there, bro. He's got to be like, what, late or mid-60s?
Yeah, I'd say
Somewhere like that,
60s for
late
sure.
50s, mid-60s, something in there.
I always think those guys
He
who
looks
are
like he's 90.
80s and 90s are like my dad's age, so probably like 50s, mid 50s to mid 60s, somewhere in there.
It's so funny.
Well, like guessing people's age has become a fucking minefield in itself because, like, when
Oh,
you were
yeah.
60, you used to look dog shit terrible, and now you look half decent because things have advanced to that point. So it's like I'm sure in drug years, Axl Rose and all them are definitely 80, but like physically, who knows?
Well, let me ask you something. If you were not familiar with the Rolling Stones or Keith Richards or anything at all, and I just showed you a picture of this man and asked you, how old do you think he is? Do you think you'd be able to 100% give me an accurate ansanswer?
No. If it's Keith
Exactly.
Richards, no way, man.
That's what's crazy about some of these guys, man. And I saw this Facebook post today of like, because I Facebook's fine. I just use it for like music stuff. But like Mick Jagger and Keith Richards, and it's like, the Rolling Stones played a show in the rain in 1981, and in the comments, some woman's like, "Isn't that unsafe?" And then,
That's
and
not
then
the
someone
most
replies,
unsafe
and
thing
they
they've ever
go,
done.
"I'm sorry, Keith Richards and Mick Jagger played a show in the rain, but it's nothing compared to everything else they've done, you know."
Right.
And this person's like, "Oh yeah, good point." And I'm like, and then I looked up a picture of Keith Richards, and I watched it. I didn't do it today, but I watched that documentary on Netflix that he's in, and I'm like, man, some people are truly built different. I hate to say it. Some people are truly built different. Some people truly are just more durable than
Yeah.
others. You know what I mean?
Now,
I mean,
look at Ozzy.
All those guys like Keith Richards, Mick Jaggers, the rock gods who have reached the pinnacle of human existence, have more money than they know what to deal with.
Right.
They
What better to spend it on?
gone through drug addiction, several divorces, all that stuff.
Lawyers.
They make me believe adrenochrome is real. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I'm pretty sure there's some sacrifices that they're just not telling us about.
Mick Jagger for sure drinking baby blood. That's just
Exactly.
no two ways about it.
Like some Robert Johnson type stuff.
Now, I do remember Keith Richards getting a full blood transfusion in like 1979. Like, went to Switzerland, had a crazy, like, to get him off heroin, they like swapped out all of his blood. And
Oh my
can
God.
you imagine where they got that blood? I don't know, doggy. Seems fishy to me. Anyways, that's actually a rock and roll myth. I don't think that's fact. We're not spitting facts on that one.
But it's fun
think
to
it is
speculate.
fact, and I think it's proof that the lizard people live in Switzerland. Because that sounds like a lizard move.
That does sound
Very
like
cold-blooded.
Yeah. I have one more question for a lead singer. Are you batting off the pussy and throwing it to the rest of the band? Yes or yes?
If there was anything at all to
If there was any
throw,
pussy to throw
I would
at the
love.
band.
I would share, but unfortunately, it's not. Yeah, no, I'm not even gonna sugarcoat it. No, there's nothing. You know, every
Luminal Band STL
everyone
on
I've
Instagram.
dated, everyone I've ever met, anyone that's ever been able to tolerate me, I've always I've always met outside of music. It's weird. I've met a lot of friends.
Don't date fans.
Through
Yeah, that's the
music,
way it
but-
should be, bro.
Yeah, I've never
the way it should be.
gotten any relationships through music or through Luminal or through, what I did in college or
Now-
playing in those bars or whatever.
Ty,
you know?
question for you. You batting the pussy away for other comedians? You throwing it at some of these new open micers?
I
Let's
am
go.
throwing all the pussy to the other comedians, man. Like, all of it. It just seems to repel away from me. It's kind of a mystery I've been working on.
and he's trying to solve it.
I'm actually the one person in our band not in a relationship.
Okay, no. So
So-
if there were any to be had, then the rest of the band will throw it your way. So that's okay. No, not
That
bad.
is even more though. I haven't seen anything, so that's even more. Sort of evidence that there's nothing. At least not where we're playing. Maybe if I go to like Champaign, Illinois, or something, there's gonna be a whole new world that I've never been involved in. But
I will say, Alex is the only single one in our band, so if there were any to be had, we are all throwing it his way. That's pretty much where it goes. So,
just throw it anyway.
and hey, ladies, you could do worse than Alex Ward. I'm just saying, okay? Go check him out on Instagram, alexward.co.
You could do
He
worse.
drums.
You have
He
done
beats
worse.
on drums.
you. You have for sure done worse than this man because he's immaculate. Same for Doug over here. I don't want to shortstop Doug on the train, but yo, hey Doug, we love you, man. Again, everybody, check out Luminal STL on Instagram.
Luminal Band STL on Instagram. All streaming platforms. We're not too difficult to find, even if I've messed up our usernames. a couple times. It's not that difficult.
LUMINAL, baby. That's the word, okay?
Yes.
I do want to do a little comedy news, but we'll make it kind of quick for the viewer. I know you got stuff to do. I don't think I had. Do you think I did my homework? Last time we had the Florida one. Yes. Yeah. No. Nikki sent that to me. You're totally right. I am mistaken. Hold on, real quick to Doctor. You. Well, go ahead.
I was just saying, like, also I could tell I was in the hospital for a couple days this week. I've got a very interesting story I could share if we wanted to hear it. But let's do the news first. I want to hear the news.
Okay, so kicking off comedy news here. In Florida Man updates from a couple weeks ago, a Florida man riding a human-sized hamster wheel in the Atlantic Ocean has been charged federally. This comes to us from AP News, and the gist of it is that some 51-year-old dude was like 70 miles off the coast of Tybee Island, Georgia, at the end of August. But he was charged with obstruction of boarding and violation of a captain of the port order. He was attempting to ride the quote-unquote hydropod vessel to England, and
Hydropod vessel. He was on the vessel, yo.
the vessel, and he had a Florida registration,
Hydropod vessel.
but he was unable to locate the registration for them on board. The officers described it as being afloat as a result of wiring and buoys, and they said he was conducting, quote, a manifestly unsafe voyage, per the complaint.
Ty, you're in Florida. You ever been on any hydropod vessels, bro? How are those? I've never been on a hydropod vessel before.
I tell you what, Captain Fluffy Nutters and his hamster wheel vessel. He has amazing friends.
Yeah.
Like, there's no way he built him. There's no way he built it himself. And then, like, he has a friend that showed up with a 24-pack of beer, helped him build this, and was just like, "Yeah, man, you'll totally make
You'll
it.
be
Not a
fine."
problem."
Yeah.
I do believe that this is his third attempt to do this too, or something like that. Third or fourth.
Even
So-
better. Like, his friends are top tier friends.
Exactly.
They're ride or die bitches. Like,
Supportive.
man,
Super supportive.
to the end.
Didn't work the second time. Don't worry, we're making a better one. Anyways, giant inflatable.
It's your dream,
hamster wheel.
bro. I'm not gonna stop you.
Could you imagine how seasick you would get?
Going to England? Going
man.
to England, too, dog. You can't
You
forget
got some
that.
big old waves.
He's
that
going
you
to
can roll
England.
around in.
Like
Oh,
interstellar type
Well, I
stuff.
saw a picture of this, and it's literally just a cylinder of plastic held together by wires. So it's like it seems like he wanted to run the entire way there, which is I don't know how many thousands of miles. And with the North Atlantic current, there's no way he's making it to England from Florida. Let's put it that way.
No.
I mean, do you just keep it cooler?
He's doing Cape Hope his best. You know what I mean? He's going south to Africa, or he's going to go see some polar bears up north. You know what I mean? Like,
Right, that Atlantic
there's
current
no
takeout.
way.
I mean, you just got to keep it cooler in there, bro, and hope that it doesn't pop the plastic or something. You know?
And it's rolling
Like,
around
you're just
with
like-
you, though?
You're just like,
No.
or whoa. No, you know
One-
what you could do is those like plastic. No, those like fabric like ones with zippers.
Fasteners, yeah.
Those
some
ones, the
fasten it
softer
to the
ones.
side somehow.
They have a better chance there.
I mean,
Put some
looking
sandwiches
at
in
this
there.
thing, one rogue wave, that's everything
Trulies.
inside that tube with him, including him, would have been gone. You know what I mean? Like, it would have.
He just had a death wish,
Imagine,
dude.
imagine a stovepipe hat without the covering on the top, and that's kind of what this thing is.
Okay.
I gotta see it now. I'm gonna have to look up. I'm gonna have to do some research after this. I gotta educate myself on hydropod vessels.
Things not to do in Florida, guys, okay? I did have one real quick I want to hit. That was a little Florida man news. I got a little St. Louis man, Missouri man news for you. I got to find. It was submitted to me by a
Missouri
fan.
killed a family of 5.
A ride, a free. Here's the title. Okay. Get ready. You got your listening ears on, Tyson?
Yeah.
A ride, a free hot dog, a job application. Just some of the things officials say an escaped convict got on his day of freedom. That's the headline.
There's some good people out in this world, man. Giving people second chances, I'm all for it.
I am too, and honestly, dude, some lady, they didn't include this in the title, some lady took a selfie with him, too. Like, this guy is lit.
For the gram, of course. When else are you going to meet a escaped convicted felon?
I did not realize he was an escaped convicted sex offender, so that makes us a little different. But we're gonna
just a little bit, just a little different.
Just a little different.
It changes the
It
tables
is
of turn.
Why are
Missouri
you
turns of
judging
table.
The, ladies?
The
Some
turns of
ladies
table.
Like to stare the beast in the face. Okay.
Yeah, right. I mean, some ladies really like inmate. Anyways, Tommy Boyd, a 2-time. Should I have said it? I said his name. Anyways, a 2-time sex offender. Shit, damn it. Managed to evade authorities before being recaptured. His escape Thursday triggered an extensive manhunt, leaving local residents on edge. It didn't seem like Boyd had any concrete plan, but he did make something interesting stops along his way.
Local residents on edge. What is he? A lady stopped for the ram. Like they're not on edge. They're like what?
Right. Yeah, the story. Anyways, some journalist is lucky she still has a job. Anyways, even attempted to apply for a job in a convenience store and received a free hot dog in exchange for filling out a political survey, encountering unsuspecting people during his day of freedom. A picture released by the police featured a woman who had taken a selfie with Boyd. Boyd also received a ride from South County to South City sometime between 7 and 8 in the morning. He was spotted at Tower Grove Park at one point during this escape, and he was captured in Shrewsbury without any incident. So this man really
that reads
is poetry.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead,
But
take it
that
away.
reads like a Curious George novel.
It does.
You ever read Curious George? It's like Curious George got out of the apartment and went to the park, and then met a nice family, had some cotton candy, and then was
An old man
captured
took
by-
him home and had him do dishes, string up laundry, and then he escaped. And then he went and got ice cream, and that's when the man in the yellow hat found him.
Exactly.
100%.
It's a
I'm
straight
with
up
you.
Curious George novel.
It's a shame his name was Tommy, not George. I could totally see it. But yeah, I mean, just crazy, dude.
I'm sorry to cut off your thought. I was just
No, you're good. You're good. No, I cut my own thought off because the boy is silly. Yeah, boy.
Yeah, boy. Tommy boy.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah, boy. Tommy boy.
We got
He's goofy and also up to some stuff that we shouldn't admire.
Comedy specials this week. Let's see.
What was that?
I do that sometimes. I got my own.
No. What I did, not you. I just went. I just said nothing and something at the same time there.
I'm trying to remember whose special I was. I had one that I wanted to announce that was really good. Jordan Jensen put out a
the
special.
next Gas Digital special should have dropped.
That's specifically Jordan Jensen released a 30-minute special on Gas Digital Network. I really enjoy her. She does a podcast with Ian Finance. Have you seen any Ian Finance yet?
I have, yes.
I enjoy him thoroughly. I hate to say it, I enjoyed the Skanks episode where they had they took AIDS test Revealed if he had AIDS or not at the end. Interesting stuff. Real comedy happening live. Anyways, Ian Finance is the shit. Jordan Jensen is the shit too. They have a taxidermy rat that's their. They have a taxidermy rat that's their like logo / mascot. It's pretty.
It's a bit macabre.
It's not just a taxidermy rat. It's taxidermy taking a shit on a mini toilet.
That's very macabre.
It's
Wow.
family, dude. So Jordan Jensen's new special's out. God, there was one other. I mean, Rich
Taxidermied
Voss.
rats.
Rich Voss's should have come out by now. Oh my God, Nadav left YMH.
Really?
Yeah, did you hear that shit?
I did, yeah. I didn't. I couldn't find a reason why, but
I think
I can find a reason why.
you could find a reason, right?
I can think of one. Do we want to get into it?
Yeah, we do that here.
Christina
Get it
P. is becoming someone I'm starting to dislike. I hate to say it.
Did
She's
we
becoming
talk about
someone
this
that I'm.
before?
I think we have
No.
talked about this.
Okay,
but
I agree, 100%.
she's becoming someone I'm not really a fan of much anymore, and it's hard because I like Tom Segura, but what I see it, and I've kind of stopped watching YMH because of this. Almost, to be honest with you, because I'm just thinking like, right, for the last, I don't know how long has it been since Christina P. and Tom Segura? How long have they been sort of going like up and on the up and up? You know what?
I
8
might
years.
throw that to you, Ty. How long?
I don't know.
I feel like 8 or 9 years, something like
Yeah.
that, right?
Yeah, we'll go ahead and say that.
But anyway,
I've
it's
been
like
watching for 4 or 5.
you're showered with love and appreciation for years. I mean, you have such a vast community, and you have so many fans, so many different backgrounds, which this is important. Fans with different backgrounds, right? And my thing is, it's like if you've got this great community and you have this great thing going, this place of love and this place of solace and this place of contentness, and just you feel like
Supposed
like
to
a
be
lot
funny and
funny.
ha's, right?
Why be transphobic? Why be hateful? Why just hateful in general? It's just like
It's not even
it's ridiculous.
She has become super transphobic, though.
She's
and
also
it's very
become a very
noticeable.
hateful person, and I just am
It-
not.
I
into
think
it.
it started with the TikTok segment that they introduced, where they were literally just like bagging on people with disabilities TikToks,
Yeah.
you know, and that was
Yeah.
pretty. I don't know. Anyways, I'm right there with you though, right? So
It's like some of that old stuff that Stern used to do that you question, you know, nowadays.
Dr. Evil wants to note that it's strictly the amount that it's happening that really is offsetting, jarring. It's very
Yeah.
disproportionately
it's a
targeted.
lot. It's a lot, and it's just upsetting as a fan or a
Okay,
former
but
fan.
I
now.
also don't think that I can. Dr. Evil actually mentioned that to me. Do you think that's why he left? I think that is a huge contributing factor because he's looking at the long run and where the shit is going, and he's like, I need to get my ass out of here before
And start a different show.
she gets canceled. But also, they were like, I mean, they've always picked on Nadav to a degree, right? With a feign of respect.
Do
What?
you think it could be a little bit of a Tim Dillon situation?
It could be because they were trying to force him to do a marathon in a month and a half, even less now. And this is Nadav, who was like 300 plus pounds at the time. And he released a like 5-minute statement and like made the marathon a big point in there that he was like, and I'm already injured, and I want you guys to know that while I'll still be doing a marathon, I'll be doing it in 12 months. Not a month and a half like some people want me to.
But then some people are different because, like, Howard Stern for 40 years, every other day, has made Gary Delabate, the executive producer of his show, the laughingstock of the show, right? For over 40 years, but he's still with him, and he's worth $14 million. So then that's kind of why you're
But
like,
nobody
how
wants to
far
be
you-
Spit Jug.
Exactly.
Nobody wants to be Spit Jug, the guy who's
I
called
agree.
Spit Jug. We referenced that because I was on a podcast. The very first podcast I ever tried to start was in college, and the thing was they called me a different shitty nickname every episode. Spit
Yeah.
Jug, Shit Stain,
Jeez.
whatever. And after 3 episodes of that, I was like, guys, I'm doing all the audio and help for this. I'm not doing this.
Don't treat me like a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Wow. Okay.
It's I just don't see the longevity of it. You know what I mean?
especially with where the rest of society's at in 2023. You know what I mean? Like, it's not a sustainable outlook. You know,
it's one thing if occasionally you throw a jab, but if the running gag is you're going to make fun of one person for 4 years straight, then you know what I mean. Like there's no give and take about it or anything like that. Then that guy's going to get sick of this shit, and then realize he can take his skills elsewhere.
I really think Nadav, and I'm there for it, should just go start a new show.
He did, and he's doing a.
Oh,
he's
did
starting, he? Yeah, he released that in that statement.
Myself from all the YMH.
He's calling it the Very Nadav Show, and he's got his own channel. If you guys want to support him, go check it out.
Okay, I'm gonna.
And I think it's going to be a podcast about Hip Happening podcast, and go check out his statement because I think he put it on his bio on his Instagram.
That'll be interesting.
I do want to say this just to get us. Ty, do you have anything else to say about Nadav and the YMH situation? That's where I'm going.
Where are the bodies at, Garth?
Right? Where are the bodies at, Garth?
Where are the bodies?
Secondly, one more thing I want to say that's in the vein of podcast comedy news. Legion of Skanks producer Bobby Hutch officially left the podcast too, and then was trying to do like a tell-all, talk shit on Lewis before Skankfest this previous week, and that was not nearly as jarring as I expected, but it was way less the atrociousness that you think and more to do with just money and money problems.
Yeah,
and shit,
Lewis
right?
is a good businessman. That's what everybody's chief complaint is. He gave some people shitty deals.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
And they signed it. That makes him a good businessman. It's your fault for not looking out for yourself and finding something else. Yeah, it grew large and it's a great opportunity and all that. But at the end of the day, your pay is your fault.
Right. Now, I also want to say that Lewis issued a apology video, sort of. Sort of. He cries in it. So if you want to go see Louis J. Gomez cry, go watch the apology video. Some people would. It's kind of it's all just self-serving though. I don't know how much of an apology it really is. You know what I mean? It's more like just it's more like a PR address. You know?
Oh, okay, yeah.
You feel me? So that probably didn't
just
need to happen.
into to some AI generator. Luis Gomez apologizing for this.
That'd be funny, doggy.
While crying.
But anyway, so that's some shit. Skankfest is happening next week, and your boy's probably going to have to tune into some of it, though, because I'm not going. Sad face. Y'all be easy. Anybody else got comedy news? I know you had a story about this week that you wanted to tell.
I had the story, but I also just wanted to say I was watching YouTube last night. You know what I'm gonna say.
You know how it is.
And just because I went and saw Queens of the Stone Age last night.
Lit.
And then after that, I kind of just went with Robert. You know, got a little stone.
Did he have his tie dye?
Oh,
hell yeah!
He did,
Forgiving Tree tie dyes, people. Anyways,
he's worn it like he says he's worn it like 4 times. It's awesome. And like only a week. But anyway,
smelly.
I was watching this video. Former President George W. Bush, just like Bush-isms. I didn't really know about it, but like Bush-isms.
He's a little young for Bush-isms, but he's learning. So he found a couple of his faves.
I know that human being
and
not
fish
necessarily. Can coexist peacefully.
I was never sheltered from the war on terrorism at all growing up. My parents were extremely honest and always kept me informed and wanted me to know what was happening because they didn't want me to grow up thinking that. I mean, they wanted me to feel safe, but they didn't want me to grow up thinking that everything was okay. You know, they wanted me to know what was going on. So I was I was always.
No, I feel you. So, what are your favorite Bush-isms, bro?
and I wanted to see what we think of this and how we want to interpret this. Okay. Families is where our nation finds hope, where wings take dream.
Where wings take dream. Do you remember?
How does a wing take dream, Ty?
We've lost Ty. Ty is gone.
Yeah, I'm here.
Ty
I'm here.
happened.
Yeah, Bushisms. Yeah.
Yeah.
How does a wing take dream?
I think we just witnessed a wing take
We
dream.
just witnessed a wing take dream right here. Yeah, I just thought that was interesting. You know.
Shout out.
Not everyone-
We don't have a public speaker like him anymore. You know.
Yeah, man. He.
Do you have a what was the deal about that?
Yeah. Okay. So, I'm just gonna say this. I'm not gonna get too like.
No. Yeah.
It's a gross story, but I'm not gonna get too gross. But we shouldn't have to cut this out. Okay.
Okay. Try to make it not cuttable. Okay?
I'm not gonna. I'm going to. Okay. And I swear, there's 4 different people who can attest to this because I got my own room because of this.
Okay.
My very best friend, both of my parents, and another friend of mine that came to visit can all 4 attest that this happened, and I got my own room because of this.
Okay.
Okay, so I was in the hospital just getting some stuff done with my blood. I wasn't, too down or anything. I had to be there for 2 days. They needed to work on me. And the first night I was there, I had to share a room with somebody.
Okay.
And this guy was cool. He told me about how he went down the wrong path, and now he's coming back, and he's working in a grocery store trying to raise his kids and lead a nice family. I'm like, okay, and I listened to this guy's life story because he was interesting, but also, what else are you going to do?
Yeah,
you're laying
stuck
in a hospital bed at freaking 10, 11, 12 at night, and you're just like, what else are you going to do, So this guy's in the hospital, right, because he can't put anything down.
Okay.
He can't eat anything, and all he can have is, like, liquids. Like,
Sure.
It's all liquids, broth. But even broth is hard because, like, even little pieces in the broth, he was having a hard time with. So it's 1 in the morning.
Okay.
You might know where I'm going with this.
I'm following.
It's 1 in the morning. And these nurses shuffle in. And they shuffle in, and there's a couple of them, and I can hear them, and they walk in, and they throw this big tub down on the floor. And I hear the tub get thrown down on the floor, and there's a curtain. Were you wanting to ask a question?
No.
And there's a curtain in between us, right?
Okay, so you can't
And
see.
I can't see, but I can hear everything that's going on. I can also smell everything that's going on. And they go, "Are you ready?" He goes, "I think so." At 1 in the morning, okay? For the next 45 minutes, all I hear is, "Ah! Ah!" They're draining this poor man. And I smell it, and I hear it, and I'm there for all of it. And the next day, and you have to pardon my French here. The next day, right? The nurses walk in, and the one's like, she's like, "You want to wash up today?" And he's like, "Yeah." And she's like, "Do you need help or do you want to do it?" And he goes, "I swear to God, I'll never forget this. I ain't letting none of y'all motherfuckers ever touch my ass again."
Oh my God, dude.
Oh, dude. And I was just like, I was trying not to laugh, And then he 100% knew too that I was up, and I heard it. I don't know how he knew. He just knew. Well, we talked for like 3 hours before, so maybe he's,
It may have come up, yeah.
But like, so he probably knew. Well, he
might
probably
have
knew that I was still
apologized.
up,
Hey, man, so you had
But
to see that shit.
Well, no, he didn't. He didn't though. But he was very short. It was short. Like if you see someone and you just embarrass yourself in front of them, like the day or two before, you're very like sort of.
Yeah, I don't want to. Hey,
but,
let's not. Yeah.
But I was like, I'd walk past him, and I'm like, "Hey, bro, let me know if you want to turn the AC down." Okay, sounds good. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Hey man, how you doing? Good, man. Good. I'm doing great. Hey man, can I get you anything? No. All good. You know, it's freaking his. He was getting transfusions and stuff. So every time he moved his hand, his arm, it would go off, and the light went off, and this noise was going off, and I was like, he
Guys,
wasn't calling the
I need
nurse
outta
light,
here.
and I tried calling I was like, do you want me to call the nurse light? He's like, nah, bro, you're good. And this freaking thing is blaring, and I'm like, are you sure you don't want me to call? And at this point, my mom comes to visit, and she's like, what's going on? Why is he like cool with this? Because it's like really loud. It's
Really
like
loud.
beep 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 beep.
You
And he's
don't
like,
want
nah,
those
bro, it's
nurses
good. Just
come
keep it
touch
going.
his butt
Just keep
again,
it going,
dog.
man. And I had to call the nurse. I had to get it turned off because it was driving me nuts. But I felt his pain. You know. I just want to say, I can't remember his name, and I wouldn't, even if I could, I wouldn't want to embarrass this poor man. But if you're out there, bro, you don't got to be ashamed. It's all
No.
good. I
Savage
was
of
the
the
only
week,
one
dude.
who witnessed this. I was there. But the next day, Amy, my nurse, I was like, Amy, I need my own room. I need it tonight. I'll wait as long as I have to get transferred, and you know why.
I don't want
She's
to
like,
see that
and
shit
and she's like, yep, quite literally.
I am
quite literally, brother.
dude. Oh my god.
But yeah, man, that was my hospital experience. You know, that was
Glad you got your own room.
oh
tonight,
yeah,
too.
oh yeah, you know. And like I
Ty-
said, you can backlog, you can check. There's 4 different people who were there for the conversation of me expressing why because I went more into detail eventually, expressing why I needed my own room. There were people there. You can trace
Yeah,
it back
they
if you
can-
like.
yeah, it's okay.
It's
I won't. I trust you, bro.
it's just it's like shit you hear in the 70s of people like prescribing cigarettes to people. It's like you hear about like stuff that happened like in the late 70s, early 80s in
Yeah.
hospitals, and you're like, that could never happen, you know. But then it happens, and you're like, well, shit doesn't change. No pun intended.
Damn, you got it. He got a couple zingers in today.
Yeah, it's funny in my head.
Ty's returning. I think Ty might be out of coffee. So
No, I'm good.
We're all
good.
out of
I'm still
coffee,
good.
brother.
I'm here. I was just listening
we
to
all
the
out of
story.
coffee. We all out of coffee.
Excuse me for being observer.
You're good.
You are an excellent.
Thoughts? Question mark. Thoughts?
Do you have any shit jokes you need to slide in there, buddy?
No. I was just going through my own traumatic experiences in the hospital.
Oh.
I can say, as a guy who's been in the bed, there is nothing more enjoyable, disgusting, and deplorable than having a hot nurse wipe your ass.
Oh, yeah.
It's oh man.
Yeah. You're just like,
I
I'm here,
hate
and
to
you
say
have to
but-
do it.
Deplorable Ty.
Well, what do you want me to say? It was also enjoy. I wasn't hammering on the button or nothing, but it was. You know, I was.
What'd
I
you
was
say? Did you
That
say
reminds me-
hammering on the button?
Me? No,
Yeah, no, never.
That reminds
What
me
the
of,
fuck was that, doggy?
I'm sure
I love you.
we got Nicolas Cage fans here. That reminds me of the best movie Nicolas Cage ever did, Vampire's Kiss, back in the late 80s. I don't know if anyone's seen it,
No.
but it's
Uncultured
pretty
swine.
incredible. Oh, bro.
I bet people have seen it, but not this
you
guy.
you gotta see this. But anyway, it's his best work, right? And there's a great scene in this movie. First of all, this movie is all about how he has sex with someone who's got like
No, you're good.
who's got like absurdly like pale coloring, and she's like, and he's also like inebriated at the same time, so he's under the impression that he's had sex with a vampire, and he's worried about becoming a vampire, and that's the whole plot of the movie. But there's a great scene where it gets to the point where he just goes insane and starts treating everyone like crap. And what you just said reminded me of this because his secretary walks in and she's looking for a file, and he's like, that's your job. It's the worst job ever, and you have to do it. You have to do it. You know what I mean? Like, you're in the hospital and you already hate being there, and like a nurse is wiping your ass, and it's like, that's your job. That's what you signed up for. You've got to do it now. You know? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Any other
What?
What? What are you about to say?
What?
What?
Huh?
I was just thinking.
Where are we?
We should wrap this bitch up.
I know, Ty. You look like you're hurting.
No, I'm
Boring
good.
you to
I'm just
tears
thinking
over
it's been
here.
An hour and a half, and we gotta save
We
some stories for the next time.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Savage of the Week, Doug Brandmill from Luminal, everybody. Also, if you
Also,
have
Alice
anybody to
Schmitt.
shout out.
I want to say Alice Schmitt. Schmitt, piece of Schmitt on IG. Alice Schmitt. I love you, Alice. You already know this, but I'm so proud of you. I'm so happy. We all are. It's just like you're amazing, and I love you.
I
And
wish
I'm
we
so
could
excited,
play
and I love
You're a
Nino
Bad
too.
Mofo.
I love
Love
just
Nino.
Love it. Congratulations.
Shout out to
the
both of
Schmitt
them.
family.
Thanks for coming on again, brother. Savage yourself, and Alice is a great
Awesome.
Savage of the Week too. So glad to have both of you guys. Savage of the Week, Ty. I love you, dude. Thanks for being here.
Love you too, man.
Dude, it's been awesome,
thanks for
Ty.
swinging
Yeah,
out,
man. It's been awesome talking to you. You know, I'd love to come back on sometime and talk some more, man.
We'll make it happen, bro. You'll get a part 2 here pretty soon. So thank you both, and everybody, thanks for listening. Mad love and
Thank you so
respect,
much.
everybody. Till next time.